Welcome back this week to Dark Horse Rowing, and we are talking about why you still shouldn't be lifting your heels when you are on the machine, but the time when you can lift your heels. All right, let's address this. Now, we coach that you shouldn't lift your heels on the machine. Now, before you go leaving all sorts of hate comments down below this video, listen to what we have to say about it. Why do we talk about not lifting the heels? Now, is it a generally accepted principle that in the sport of rowing you lift your heels? Absolutely, we're not denying that. Is it possible to lift your heels when you are actually on the, using the rowing movement properly? Sure, absolutely. Is it appropriate to lift your heels when you are teaching somebody for the first time how to use this machine? No, and that's where we come from. So stick with us and let's address why we use the cue of heels down rowing and when it's appropriate to allow the heel to lift. Now, when somebody is turning to us for the first time to learn how to use the rowing machine, one of the most egregious errors that we see is the lifting of the heel and the hips sliding underneath the shoulders, this catch position. Okay, now for those of you that have hung out with us for long enough, you know that this is not a good position, that a strong catch is being able to have the foot nearly flat, the hips behind the shoulders, and maintaining a strong midline, okay? Now, what do we see 80% of the time with somebody that's never learned how to use this machine? It's this. I'm talking about the gym goers, the CrossFitters, everybody who uses this machine and has never tuned into rowing knowledge. So, why do we talk about heels down rowing? Because the instant I put somebody's heels down, look at what it does to my hips. It pushes them behind my shoulders. It eliminates the ability for somebody to even have this error by pushing the heel down. Now, does that shorten somebody's stroke? Sometimes it does. But guess what? I'm teaching them how to get into a good catch position, even if it's half slide, 3/4 slide, or full slide catch. And what we need most in this world, in this sport, and in teaching people how to use this machine as a tool, because there are so many more people out there using this as a training tool for not rowing and simply for fitness purposes. We need to get them using this machine comfortably. So guess what? We're going to use cue heels down because it teaches somebody how to get their hips behind their shoulders. The instant the heels lift, it is literally, if you give them an inch, they will take a mile. Okay? So you keep those heels down because it teaches a couple things. One, how to press through the entire foot. And two, it teaches us how to press through the heel and engage posterior chain. Now, do we dominate with the posterior chain? No, but it does help us to produce some vertical force as well as horizontal force production. So it accomplishes that, and it accomplishes getting the hips behind the shoulders, which is overcoming one of the biggest learning hurdles to this machine, is teaching somebody the catch position, because the catch is critical to establishing good movement. So if I miss the catch, there's no way I'm ever going to learn the rest of the stroke properly. We have to start with the catch. And that's why we coach heels down. Now, over time, once somebody has established good movement patterns, let's say that they can only get to half slide catch and that they can only row to half slide keeping the heels down. Well, guess what? I'm okay with that because we've created a good movement pattern. You can improve on good movement patterns as flexibility increases, as they lose weight, or they get more comfortable with the position. You can add more range of motion and get them deeper into the catch and get the length that everybody is so concerned with. That length will come, right? But we have to establish good movement practices first. It's kind of like if I were teaching somebody to squat, I wouldn't want to teach them to squat to their toes just because they aren't comfortable with that movement. I'm going to teach them to squat by pushing the hips back and keeping their weight somewhat in their heels, basically on an entire foot. And you know what? If they can't squat all the way down into a seated position, then I'm going to teach them to squat to a box, and then over time, that range of motion will start to increase as they get more comfortable with it. It's the exact same principle on this machine. We teach heels down. As somebody commits to the technique, and as they get better over time, and they understand how to press through the entire foot and not just the toes, then I'm going to start to allow them to flash that heel as they get better. because now they can flash the heel with intent and with purpose rather than just because rowing says that the heels are supposed to lift. The heels should lift with a purpose, not just because. And that is why we teach heels down for everybody that comes to us to learn how to use this machine for the first time. We teach heels down because it is the fastest, most effective way to get somebody into good position and getting to good movement. And as they improve, allow that heel to lift to get a little bit more length. But by now you've established good movement and you know how to commit to it without deviating and getting into poor position, right? That is why it is still not okay to lift the heels for a beginner, but as you get better, sure, let those heels lift and start to improve on that length. Guys, as always, this has been a fun one. We love this heels up discussion. Leave your comments below because we want to know, agree, disagree. Let's hear it out, right? We're always open to hearing other points of view, but that's why we do what we do. Guys, make sure you go sign up for our newsletter, The Hustler's Guide to Rowing, on our website, darkhorserowing.com, where you will get our latest video and blog article every Tuesday in your inbox. And also there you can find our Dark Horse Academy for coaches to be able to become the experts on this machine and teach their athletes how to use it effectively. And for athletes who need programming and coaching to learn how to use this machine, we got you guys covered. All right, guys, as always, we'll see you on the other side.